Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Classic Wrestling Series Season 2 Episode 15. I want to double check, but I think it is 15. So, I am sick and tired of everybody judging wrestling. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm sick and tired of the wrestling fans doing it. I'm sick and tired of normal people doing it. I just want to watch wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. And I am sick and tired of judgment. So you know what? Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have our very own Judgment Day. And we're also going to be watching Judgment Day. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you the year we're going to be watching, ladies and gentlemen. I'll let you guys try and work that one out for yourselves. But, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be kicking things off with Al Snow versus Marvelous Mark Miro with Jacqueline in his corner. Let's start the show. So we just had Al Snow versus Marvelous Mark Miro. This was a entertaining matchup. Al Snow is really good. I will sing his praises until the cows come home because he is so good. Marvelous Mark Miro was good as well. This was a fun six-man tag. I am not going to lie. It was entertaining, well done. And Al Snow gets the win with the snowplow. Fuck yes. Very happy man. Very happy man. So, also, Jeff Jarrett tried to get involved as well. It didn't happen, and we had an actual normal singles match, which is good, ladies and gentlemen. So, next up, we have Austin, who is getting changed in the referee's locker room due to, well, the main event. He's not wrestling tonight. He's refereeing our main event. So, with that being said, guys, let's get to our next matchup. It's a six-man tag. It's the Disciples of Apocalypse with Paul Ellering taking on the Legion of Doom with Droz. God, let's get to this one. So we just had our six-man tag, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm not really I don't mind this match. I thought it was okay. It was decent to a point. But yeah, not really a fan. Not really a fan of this matchup. LOD get the win, and at the end of it, with Droz gets the pin, actually, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to lie. But this is a fun matchup, nevertheless. So, next up, we are going to be having Christian, whatever happened to that guy, taking on Taka Michinoku, I believe, for the Light Heavyweight Championship. So, let's get to this matchup. So, we just had Taka Michinoku versus Christian for the Light Heavyweight Championship. This was a fun matchup. Very entertaining. Well done. Christian gets the win after a roll-up on Taka when he went for the Michinoku driver. And the Chicago crowd went nuts. I forgot to mention that in our last match. We are in Chicago, Illinois for this pay-per-view tonight. So, with that all being said, this was a fun little matchup. Edge is in the crowd watching Christian win his first title. And out of Edge and Christian, you would have thought it would be Edge winning his first belt, but it's not. It's actually Christian. So, ladies and gentlemen, we now have the Big Lebowski Val Venus taking on Goldust. So, this is where... So basically, the storyline in this is Big Lebowski, Val Venus, is basically a porn star. That's the gist of his character. And he decides to basically turn around and have a go at Dustin Rhodes at this time. And basically, Dustin Rhodes starts saying that he's coming back. He's coming back. It basically is saying that it's Jesus Christ. It's not. We'll get to that in a second. So then, all of a sudden, the Big Lebowski turns around and goes, well, I have a new video out, and it's called The Preacher's Wife. He basically beds Terry Reynolds, better known as, at the time, Goldust's wife. WWE in 1990, in the 1990s. There's another clue for you, ladies and gentlemen. Always a good thing, ladies. Oh, fucking hell. And it's not obvious for Jesus Christ. It's Goldust. He comes back and basically punts Val Venus right in the Venus. And we get this matchup. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's have Goldust versus Val Venus. So we just had the Big Lebowski versus Goldust. And this is supposed to be a blood feud. Venus has taken Dustin's wife. This was just a bog standard wrestling match. There wasn't really a fight to begin with. It was just your average wrestling match. And then Goldust basically hoofs Venus in the dick and basically gets the win. So nothing was really resolved at this point. It was an okay match, don't get me wrong, but there wasn't the intensity that was there at the end of the day. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've got Michael Cole doing interviews again. Jeez Louise, bloody hell, Michael Cole. You forget just how long Michael Cole's been around the WWE for. It's really fucking weird. Not gonna lie. So, we've got our next matchup, and it's gonna be a surprise, guys. So, let's get to it. So, we just had X-Pac versus D'Lo Brown for the European Championship. This was actually a really fun matchup, to be fair. D'Lo Brown is good, X-Pac is good, and this was just really fun. This was a fun, entertaining matchup, and we get to the point where, you know, Mark Henry comes out and tries to cost X-Pac the match, doesn't happen. D'Lo Brown goes up top, and then an X-Factor gets the win for the X-Pac and the European Championship. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be kicking it off with probably a tag team title match. It's the Headbangers versus whoever. So let's find out. So we just had the Headbangers versus the New Age Outlaws for the tag team titles. This was a fun matchup. Entertaining, well done. New Age Outlaw gets the disqualification after hitting one of the Headbangers with the boombox. But at the end of the day, it's further feud between those two, and it heightens the drama. But bar that, it was a fun matchup, and the New Age Outlaw to retain the belt via the disqualification. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we have Mankind talking about Ken Shamrock and how he is not going to submit to the ankle lock. So we're going to be going into our Intercontinental title match, which is Mankind versus Ken Shamrock. Let's get to it. So we just had Mankind versus Ken Shamrock in our Intercontinental title match. This is actually a very interesting matchup because Mankind has never been Intercontinental champion. He's been tag and he's been the world champion. He would be going on to become the world champion at a point down the road. So for him to actually be in an IC title match, it's very weird to see. But at the same time, my word, this match was entertaining. It was well done, well paced. There should have been a disqualification when Shamrock used the chair, but the ref just turned around and was like, yes, whatever. Bullshit refereeing. But then Mankind costs himself the Intercontinental title by not actually being submitted. He actually uses the mandible claw on himself, and the referee turns around and says, well, Mankind's passed out, but due to the mandible claw, not by the ankle lock, and Ken Shamrock goes insane. He does retain the belt, after all, but he's actually annoyed that he didn't make Mankind submit. And if you can hear the drilling, I'm very sorry, it's next door. I am so sorry about that, guys. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't worked out already, we are watching the 1998 Judgment Day. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, our main event is Undertaker versus Kane with Austin as the special guest referee. And if Austin doesn't raise the hand of the new champion, he will be fired by Vince McMahon. Oh boy. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's not waste any more time. We've got Big Boss Man turning around saying that he will be enforcing Vince McMahon's law. And now, in our semi-main event, we've got The Rock versus Mark Henry. So, we just had Mark Henry versus The Rock. This is an entertaining matchup. Well done, actually. I'm not going to lie. Mark Henry serenades everyone with a poem for China. Rock comes in. They have the match. Everything goes well. And D'Lo Brown comes in to basically help Mark Henry get the win after the splash. Really done. Rock was turning into a babyface at this point. It is very, very entertaining and very well done. But now, ladies and gentlemen, we have the WWF Championship matchup, Undertaker versus Kane, with Austin as the special guest referee. Let's do this. So, ladies and gentlemen, we just had Undertaker versus Kane with Stone Cold Steve Austin as the special guest referee. This is your standard Undertaker versus Kane match. It's entertaining, it's well done. At the same time, you get to that point where it's like, we've seen this before. but at the same time, it's still entertaining in some people's eyes. I do enjoy it. I am not going to lie. I think Kane and Undertaker worked very well together on a whole. Austin is the unbiased referee. I mean, he basically turns around and says, yeah, you two do whatever the fuck you want to do to each other. Fuck to you, let's go, ring the bell. And it works because it's Austin, but at the same time, he wasn't the best referee, I have to be honest with you. Fast counting, slow counting, not counting at all at some points. Double down, 1, 2, 3, ring the bell, and Austin basically doesn't crown a new champion, so he gets fired by Vince McMahon, which would last all of about 24 hours, ladies and gentlemen, until the next night on Raw, where he basically stalks McMahon and basically holds a gun to his head. That genuinely did happen, ladies and gentlemen. So, Season 2, Episode 15 is in the books. What did I think of the show overall? I'm not going to lie, I enjoyed it. I thought this was a well-done show. It was entertaining, to say the least. And to the degree that there were good matches on the card. There wasn't really a weak match to a degree. The worst match you can probably say is Mark Henry, but even then it was a solid match up until the end, and it was a fun show, I thought. Very entertaining, well done. So, next week, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know where we're going to go next week, but I think we're going to have some fun. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching the Classic Wrestling Series. Stay safe, have fun, and TTFN. Ta-ta for now.